Nemani, who is contesting to the managing committee of the Hyderabad branch of SIRC. So welcome Shravan to Him Talks.
Hello.
So we will need a brief introduction of yourself.
So I'm Akant. I've been a chartered accountant and cost student company secretary. So I've passed in the year 2013, and initially I worked with Dr. Reddy's for quite some time in the global SOX compliance, and then I shifted back to practice. Eventually, during the phase of practice, while I was working with DRL, there was a lot of interest that got created in the information technology because I was with the global SOX. So, taking that as an opportunity, I started teaching the information technology for IPCC and information systems control. It was CA final, and I've taught at various places at Hyderabad with Jayaraman sir, and Bangalore I teach with Sampath sir at Sampath Academy, and I've traveled about 5-6 places in the south to teach these subjects for the last 3-4 years now. And having seen the student fraternity for quite some time, and having been interacting with the members at various places, I just felt that there's a need of hour with respect to giving the importance of information technology to the members at the Hyderabad branch, which promulgated me to contest this election. In the sense, I've always been closely associated with the company secretaries chapter, and I know to what extent they are using the technology, and where we are also to what extent we are using the technology. I'm really impressed by the way they are actually using the technology, especially the ICSA chapter.
Okay.
And may it be for the students, or may it be for the members, or may it be for any activity, including the way they answer your queries by having a separate help desk line for them at New Delhi. The way they are actually moving in the technology phase, I was really impressed actually. There are certain places, or I think I should say there are areas where we also can improve ourselves as members. When you want to compete with when we talk about ICA, we are always talking about some best accounting forums in the world. So if you want to compare yourselves with some maybe CFA or anything, or maybe like CPA, you have to use the technology to the optimum possible. Considering the regulations in India as well, wherein you have to use only technology, as you know, including the income tax scrutinies as well. To that extent, the technology has been deepened into us. So I feel this has to be more at the branch level, so that at least we have a unique solution in the form of technology for the members. May it be for a grievance, or may it be for any other matter for that. So that was the main purpose for which I seek my candidature in this regard.
So you have inherently mentioned the first point of your agenda, technological transition.
Correct.
So on the other hand, if you look at the scope of the branch, a lot of senior members of the opinion that the branch is purely restricted to administration, execution of what comes from SIRC and Central Council.
Correct.
So in this regard, how do you think that you can implement this technological transition process?
Rightly put, I think this requires a complete team effort. It cannot be done by my individual itself.
Exactly.
All the committee members, if we can push these ideas to the SIRC and Central Council, and since it doesn't require much of our effort, without much of our effort, when you can complete your task easier, and I feel it will be a welcome move by either Central Council or SIRC. Given the challenges in the institute, we try to push to the extent possible. As I mentioned in the agenda, I'll try to put the maximum efforts to the extent possible in order to achieve that. But it can only happen with all the 7 members which are united. That's what is my intention.
So talking about agendas, in the last couple of interview sessions, seniors were mentioning that the agenda is not really applicable to the branch level, and especially most of the agendas which the young contestants are bringing in.
Correct.
They seems to be beyond the scope of the branch purview.
Right.
So do you buy this point, or how do you take it forward?
Yes, I think I've followed this interview as Mr. Pankaj sir. He was mentioning, I've seen it. He's absolutely right. I absolutely agree to it. But the point is, when we mention something in the agenda, it means there should be an initiation.
Exactly.
That is what I mean to say in the agenda.
Okay.
So unless and until you initiate from the branch that we require something here, either Central Council or SIRC should be in a position to understand that it requires something. And unless and until you don't put forward your thoughts in front of council, they always feel that branch is always self-sufficient.
Okay.
So, to the extent possible, we will try to push at various forums or maybe to all the council members to the extent possible, to whatever support which we can gather from them, we will try to in this regard.
Okay, well said. Okay. And I believe you are the only contestant today who has given me this agenda, recognizing me as a member with voting rights. So some of the other contestants are getting carried away and putting me as a journalist. So I still have right to. Probably I need to ask a couple of questions since you have given me this. Yes. I'm excited to know more about your transparency and accountability.
Yeah, fine. I've been associated with the institute as its faculty for quite some time. I feel, especially with the either for the selection of a faculty, or maybe when you're selecting some speaker to come on board, etc., I feel it requires more transparency. In my opinion, I've been about 3-4 years now. I've been teaching IPGC and final at the institute, both for the crash and the regular batch. I should tell you, I got this opportunity through some relation. I know a few people in the branch, so that is the reason I got the opportunity. Now my point is, there are people who don't have any relation with the branch. They might not know any member in the branch. Not necessary that they should be knowing anyone. I am talking about them if they seek an opportunity. Yes. How are we going to give the opportunity to them?
Exactly.
So I feel we have to ask for all the members who are interested to, and maybe we judge on maybe by seeing their class or whatever. It could be any feasible manner which branch will decide, and select the best out of them. The best in the sense, depending on the situation and the circumstance or among the students, whoever thinks. In that context, I feel, because I know life has been very simple for me. It's been very easy for me actually to get into the branch. I taught whenever I wanted to. I did not teach whenever I didn't want. And again, I got the opportunity whenever I wanted to.
Yes.
This ease will not be there for anyone.
Yeah.
So I want to see that at least everyone are on the same platform. So when when two people fight, both have to be on equal platform to fight. So one on the top and one at the bottom is a misery actually.
So it's quite nice of you to think in that direction, especially you don't have that need. Yes. Still, you are very liberal there, so that I should appreciate you for that point. Now, moving on to a slightly uncomfortable zone.
Definitely.
Most of the seniors are of the view that the youngsters are, of course, energetic, of course, they're ambitious.
Yes.
The problem is they don't have any ground level experience. They never got their hands dirty.
Correct.
So, would that be a constraint or would that be a bottleneck for executing the activities when you're in the council?
See, definitely, I agree to the point that I don't have, maybe youngsters don't have that experience. But experience starts when you only start experiencing it.
Yes.
So there should be somewhere that you have to start. I still remember, I think my Guru Sampak sir, he used to tell, when he taught his first class, there were only 2 students. And he reached the Bangalore today. When I started teaching, there was only 1 student. I still remember that student, very close to me. But even I went to huge numbers. So there should be some starting.
Exactly.
So, to be very honest, I don't even know the ground rules of how the branch works.
Okay.
To be very, very honest.
Okay.
But still, I am very fast learner. I'll take some time. I'll learn whatever are the rules or regulations necessary for the branch to function, and see to it that to whatever extent possible, where it requires especially these youngsters or maybe the young members, whatever the seniors are calling, there should always be a combination of both, because I know sometimes their experience speaks a lot. There is sometimes some judgment which senior members do, youngsters cannot do that. But sometimes for execution, you always require that energy and that zeal, which is always available with the young members. So I feel a right combination of both will always be very, very good for any management committee to function, or maybe even a council to function.
Yes. And this is another sensitive topic.
Yes.
The general perception, because I get a lot of information through the grapevine.
Definitely.
So they believe that community plays an important role in fancying or increasing a chance of particular candidate, especially for the branch level.
Okay.
Would you buy the statement or do you strongly condemn it?
Definitely I will condemn. It is very simple. Let us say there are some 4 communities who are contesting.
Okay.
Now my question is, if only one community person vote for you, will you win the game? You will never. That will never happen. Not only for this, for any election you take. If only one community people, you belong to some X community, X community people only come and vote for you, will you win the election? You will never win the election.
That's a possibility. If you look at the pure numbers, for some of the communities, in terms of the numbers they command, it is quite a possibility, and that is the concern why people are concerned.
I disagree to this. I disagree to this because one community, if you vote and if that person wins, it is a very, very highly remote chance. Since you are saying I'm just taking the statement, but I 100% disagree. If only one community will vote, you can never win the game. It will be very, very difficult. You see, right from childhood you have been meeting several people.
Exactly.
There will be several friends for you, and especially at the branch level, what will happen is people would have started studying here. They would have done articles here. You will know some or other person.
Exactly.
They will be linked to you by some way. You met in some class. He was your peer. Or maybe he is your guru. Now his known 3-4 people will start contesting. So whom will he support? So he has to go by the preference. So closest people will get the chance, and I don't feel community will play a serious role. Considering the statement what you said, I condemn this statement.
And moving on to the specific aspects of the agenda once again. So do you have any particular point apart from technological transition which you want to implement? Because some of them are coming out saying that the premises needs to be revamped. Some of them want to implement a grievance redressal mechanism with ticketing system or whatever. So do you have any strong actionable point which you want to put forward?
Maybe that was a part of someone else's agenda, also part of my agenda as well. Well, one of the important thing which from the members' point of view which I want to do is, I want to take this, or maybe the committee, if once elected as a committee, you would want to take the CP hours to be in e-learning way or e-mode, in the electronic mode, so that we save a lot of time in travel, etc. If in case that is not possible, we will try to set up CP premises, or maybe by taking a premises at several locations in the city, so that all need not come to the branch always to attend the same. That e-virtual program of CP is what I am looking at the, maybe we try to implement it to the immediate possible level at the branch, so that we save a lot of time. That is, many members have come with regard to this. Because what happens is, several members have complained to me saying that I don't see any members in the CP seminar. All I see is only the article students. We come to deliver it for the members, but seeing the students, we are already disheartened. So that is their point. So if we take it in the e-learning mode, we can send our queries through our mail or whatever to the speaker, so that he can answer the same, and it will save a lot of time. And second thing, as you already mentioned, but I still want to mention it, the grievance redressal forum is the need of the hour. That is for sure. Because even with like a ticketing system, it is much required for the students and members at the moment. Because considering the number of calls the branch get and the number of queries that are answered, or maybe grievances that are answered, in this fact, I like to mention the ICSA chapter really impresses me in this regard. You will get the ticket number to your email ID, and they see that it is resolved to the extent possible. That is what we have to work. Maybe if this requires the intervention of the SIRC council, we have to get it, and we have to get it done. That's what.
So it has to be done whatever it takes.
Yes.
And you raise an interesting point, because some of the agenda points are common across all the candidates' agendas.
Correct.
And there's nothing wrong, because that is what is the need out there.
Correct.
But from the members' perspective, if I'm going through 4 agendas, if I see 80% similarity, how will I decide, okay, this is my guy? So because all of them are on the same age bracket, they have done more or less well. So how would I decide, or to flip the question around, why should somebody vote for Shravan Kumar?
Fine. See, here there are two things. If 80% of the points of the agenda, if they are same, it means all are working for the common objective.
Yes.
All are working for the common objective.
Yes.
That is a welcome move only.
Exactly.
See, this election, forget about what we win or what we lose. That we keep that aside.
Sure.
If these 25 people are really working for the common objective, that really impresses me. You have every right to vote the person whom you actually decide to. See, there is a German philosopher who always says, a man will always see what he wants to see.
Exactly.
He will always listen to what he wants to listen.
Yes.
And he will always believe what he wants to believe. So, no matter how many number of attempts or etc. what we do, we always have predetermined mind to what we want to do actually. So, considering that fact, if 80% of agenda is the same, I suggest or I request that you see for the 20% difference. So, why someone has to vote for me, if I have to say, or every member has to say, in the interest of the branch, I am just taking some time to do some information technology transition at the branch.
Okay.
That is my only core interest. That is the only core interest. I will put my best efforts for the efforts.
Okay.
For the effort, whatever effort is required, definitely from my side, it will be there.
Yes.
To the members as well. From the members' point of view, if any issue from their side, immediately we'll see that it is resolved.
Perfect.
And I will be available to them to the extent possible.
Yes.
And always, I am always available on the phone, I am available on the social media, etc. I am easily reachable. And I see that these, whatever because I keep talking to senior members, they give some suggestions. We see that at least to a certain extent the suggestions are implemented at the branch. Because instead of, I still remember a day when I was in a class and suddenly Sampath sir had come.
Okay.
And there was some small, I think he was some IPC student or something. I was just discussing with him, I think it was regarding some accounting standard or something. He raised some questions which even I cannot answer.
Okay.
Some really, even some best faculties may fail to answer that question, that kind of questions which he had raised. After he left, sir told an interesting point. You never know what kind of water is there in which well. Never ever underestimate any well.
Yeah.
Okay. Even a small suggestion sometimes can change huge minds. A small suggestion was this grievance redressal forum which you are speaking. If this ticketing system is introduced at the branch, you will see what wonders it will do.
Yes.
This is a it will look very small, but the magnanimous impact which it will make at the branch is immeasurable sometimes. When company secretary chapters implemented this, people laughed at the president. Then over a period of year or etc., when they started seeing the success rate, you ask any company secretary student now, and you ask what is the dissatisfaction in terms of the service which the ICSA provides for the grievance, you will hardly find 0.1%. It's negligible. So we should reach that stage. It always starts with some small idea. So whatever idea is given, we'll try to implement to the extent possible. Or at least we try to put in front of the committee. So the committee will decide whether it can be done. Sometimes few ideas can be implemented by the branch, few requires the intervention of the council or the SIRC respectively. We push to the extent possible.
And Shravan, this is a very personal question.
Yeah.
When I qualified my CA at 21, when I approached to take certain assignments, one common line which we would come back to say, my experience is more than my age. So their experience is more than my age. Correct. So on the same lines, you're 27 now. Yes. There's somebody who has experience almost equal to your age, if not more.
I'm recollecting a proverb here.
Yeah.
Experience is the name given for the wonderful mistakes that are done in the past.
Are you pointing out to somebody?
No, I'm not pointing. I'm just recollecting. See, it's absolutely agreed. See, sometimes in their experience, what judgment? Sometimes I still have argument with my father.
Yes.
He's a chartered accountant, so he has been in practice for 28 years now. So he makes some judgment, and I feel he's wrong.
Okay.
After some time, I am proved that I am wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
At times he says that I am wrong, but after some time he's proved that he's wrong. Not always that experience should be right.
Exactly.
But that doesn't again demean them again as well.
Yeah.
So that is what I am saying. A combination of the senior members and a combination of some youngsters is always the talk of the day. If they want to execute at a very fast pace, youngsters are very much required. But if you want to have that calculated thinking, there should always be the seniors who should be there in the committee. So since you are saying a statement that regarding the experience, it's very much valid and it is very much invalid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a summary of this conversation would be age is just a number. Can we stick to that?
Not necessarily. Yeah, maybe in a way I can say yes, because I still remember, I think it was maybe about 3-4 years back, I was just reading, when Sundar Pichai mentioned, there was one 21-year-old boy, young boy, who was sitting in Russia, and he controlled the Facebook server for about 48 hours, sitting in that place. Now, would you consider that man to be one of the most terrific guys in the world? Or would you consider him to be a demeaning creature?
Yes.
Later he was made the head of ethical hacking for Facebook.
Perfect, yeah.
So, definitely age is a number. Knowledge and thinking is what plays the most pivotal role. It could be for any age, not only maybe youngster or senior. The most practical thinking, understanding the nuances of the institute and working, and combining it with the best experience possible, to the extent possible.
So effectively you mean to say that at 27 you're ready to battle out all the 26 contestants and you're good to go?
Yeah, I am ready to go.
Okay. And the final question of the day, it's not even a question, so we are giving an opportunity through this platform to make a 1-minute pitch to our viewers so that they'll get more reasons to vote for you.
Alright, so at this hour I just want to mention that contesting for the Hyderabad branch, I'd only like to tell that whatever extent possible, my effort will never be futile. To the extent possible, whatever effort is there, I'll put my 100% effort to see that branches function in the best possible way in the interest of all the stakeholders. So considering this, I seek your first or best preference possible in this regard for the serial number 19th on 27th of January, which is Sunday. Thank you so much.
So thanks a lot, Shravan, for coming to my show.
Thank
you. I really liked the way you talked, and all the very best once again.
Thank
you, Shravan.